Hello, welcome to Daddy and the Don. Today we're here for a special preview for the North London derby between Tottenham and Arsenal tonight in about 2 hours. Massive game which could decide the Champions League. So I thought I'll put a show together with a few fans from both teams. Obviously, we all know now I'm an Arsenal fan. Well, I will try and stay neutral for this as I'm the host. I do have with me today, back on the show again, Carl. How are you, Carl? You all right, mate?
All good, mate. The nerves are starting to set in now. We're literally just under 2 hours away from kickoff. So yeah, nerves are starting to set in now.
Back on the show again for me, Arsenal fan Ollie. How are you, Ollie?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks very much.
And in the corner, regular pundit that comes on here, not showing his face today. He might be camera shy, maybe nervous. Tottenham fan, it's Luke.
What's going on?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. So I'll start with you, Carl. Regarding this game, we don't have to win. Are you looking for the win, or are you going to be happy with a draw, like myself?
A lot of people say that they would rather come away from the game unscathed. They would rather not. We just need to go in there not to lose. I'm on the mindset of this is the biggest North London derby with huge implications, probably since about 2006. Now, as I said, I would happily come away with a draw, no problem at all. But I would still say no. We can get the job done and dusted tonight. Champions League done and dusted. We can just enjoy the final rest of the season. So I would rather we get the job done. But there is going to have to be a different way of how to do about this. Tottenham are going to have to come forward because they need to win this game more than what we do. They're going to try and do some things that they are not quite accustomed to. That is where Arsenal can hit them on the break. And with the pace that we got up top with Nketiah, with Martinelli and with Saka, it's going to cause their fullbacks all kinds of problems. But for me personally, I would say get the job done tonight.
Just you mentioned something, and I want to elaborate on it. Obviously, Tottenham need to go for the win. We don't need to. Are you not worried about that we're going to sit back, maybe, especially in the second half?
The first 20 minutes, we will be sitting back. Tottenham will come at us for the first 20 minutes of this game. I think it's just going to be a case of weather the storm and just try and not leave Ramsdale vulnerable. Obviously, we're not 100% sure if Ben White is returning tonight. If he isn't, and Rob Holding will take his place. And to be fair, Rob Holding, the last few games while Ben White has been out injured, he's actually done himself really, really well. Got man of the match again. It was like 2 games ago. I can't remember what it was when he got
West Ham, yeah.
Against West Ham. Thank you. He did outstandingly well. So we just need to soak up pressure and take our chances. If there's one thing that we didn't do when we played against Leeds, it was we just did not take our chances. That may have been down to Leeds being down to 10 men or whatnot. But if you get opportunities against Tottenham, you have to take them. If you miss them, they will come back to bite you on the backside. And Tottenham are very, very capable of springing the surprise when we're not at least expecting it. Whoever scores the first goal is going to set the tone of the game.
Ollie, how's your nerves? How are you feeling? Are you confident?
Yeah, I'm confident, but I think this is the first game this season that I've not wanted to win because even if we lose, we've got 2 easy fixtures: Newcastle away and Everton at home. And even if we do lose, we're still a point clear. But it would be good to get the job done and get top 4 secured tonight. But as I said, it's the first time I've in the past I wanted them when because of top 4 and stuff. But this is the first time I don't think that I'd take a draw and I wouldn't get angry at a loss for once. But yeah, it's a big game. It's going to be a tough game, but I'm confident. I'm not really got any nerves. I would have had nerves if it was 1 point in it and if Tottenham win. But yeah, I think I'm confident, but I'm not. As I said, I don't care if we lose. There's nothing to lose in this. I mean, it's Tottenham need to win this game. Otherwise, if Arsenal win, then top 4 is decided. Arsenal getting top 4. But even if we lose, I still think we'll get top 4. So
Big up to Horace Talks and Eagle Eye Football. A few comments there. Luke, obviously Tottenham under Conte in the bigger games play the counter-attack, but I don't think that's the way you lot play today. Will that suit you, or will you struggle to adapt to a different style of football?
I think Carl's absolutely right that you're going to sit back at least for the first 20 minutes, and that's something that we've obviously struggled with. I mean, we've struggled throughout history with teams that sit back on us, but particularly this season, that's been our downfall. There's no impetus really for Arsenal to chase this game unless we do get a goal in early. And I do think it will be a struggle, but it all depends on the passing lines. I mean, the midfield is crucial to really link to that attack, and if we can stretch the defense a little bit and make some openings, that's what we need to do, and then maybe that's where the counter attack becomes more prevalent.
Obviously, I'm not downplaying it, and people can disagree with me if they want. But in theory, this is Tottenham's first team. Arsenal are still not playing their first team. Rob Holding's done great, fair play to him. But NLD, 4 games, I'm not getting excited. I still think he needs to leave. And then Ketia, for me, isn't the striker for Arsenal. So Arsenal, in theory, I'm not playing the first team. No Kieran Tierney, no Partey. Tottenham are a full-strength team. So on paper, Luke, if Tottenham show up, do they win this for you?
I would like to think so, yeah. I would like to think so, but it's a derby. It's a derby at the end of the day. Anything can happen. There's been so many games throughout history where we were the better team to watch. We were playing the better football, and Arsenal have come away with a result, and vice versa as well. So there's no guarantees that just because you turn up, you're going to get the result, particularly in the derby. And that's one of those things. Like I say, depends on the style of football that both teams really decide to play. And I can see it going either way. Probably end up in a draw.
Back to you, Carl. Obviously, for me, the last 3 games, I know Leeds 2-1 and West Ham 2-1 and Man United 3-1. I don't think we played very well in any of them games, personally. I think we could have been better in all 3 of them games. Is that a concern going into this game, or does that go out the window because it's a North London derby?
Form goes out the window because it's a North London derby. I mean, let's go back to earlier on in the season. We were in absolute shocking form. Tottenham were in really good form at the time. They came to the Emirates and we battered them 3-1. Form goes out the window completely regarding of this. So, yeah, I think it's really difficult to pinpoint. It really is, but form goes out the window for me in regarding of this. This is the North London derby. Every player in that dressing room knows what it's going to be like, especially Arsenal now, where we've got so much young blood in. They obviously coming from England as well, so the likes of Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, they will know what a North London derby is. They would have seen the likes of Thierry Henry and Bergkamp and the likes of Patrick Vieira going up against the Spurs teams that had some very good players back then. This means everything. And I mean, are we expecting? I mean, we've always looked at derbies over the last few years as they're supposed to be rivalries, but it's never really been rivalry. There's never been not much. Not to use the gut and bloods term of phrase, but I can see that being in this sort of game because it's not just North London derby. Champions League spots are on the line here. So, yeah. I think form is irrelevant.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. Yeah. Ollie, I see you're busy there, mate.
No, I'm not.
I know the answer to this question. Who is the key player for Arsenal tonight?
The key player for Arsenal tonight. I think there's a few, but I'm going to say Martin Odegaard, captain. He deserves the captain's armband. Who else? Maybe Nketiah. He's been on form recently. He's been scoring goals. maybe Ramsdale might be good tonight. Hopefully, keep a clean sheet. But for me, the standouts in Nketiah, Odegaard. Maybe if Martinelli plays, yeah, I think we'll play a strong lineup, and we'll have a lot of good players in the team.
Luke, go back to you, mate. Same question, but obviously for Tottenham, who's the key player? I take it his name starts with an S.
Yeah, I think I do think Son's crucially important. Just obviously he's a fantastic player. He's scored some fantastic goals, but it's also just the dynamism that he can bring when he does show up. He's able to take a man on. He's able to get past players with his pace, and then he's also able to finish. This season he's been absolutely fantastic. He's been our best player. There's still been some inconsistencies. There have been some inconsistencies here and there. He does have a tendency to not turn up in certain games, but that's becoming less and less. I think he'd be really fired up for this game, and hopefully all of our front three are on form, because when they are hard to stop.
Yeah, how important is Kane going to be? Because obviously he's sort of adapted this not new role, but he really has become like a selfish player, and he wants to get the others to score. The way he's dropping into deeper positions. Do you expect him to play the same way today?
I think there'll be elements of that. To be honest, I don't want to see it too much, especially if Arsenal's sitting back. I want to see him getting into the box, maybe try and get some crosses in. But I think variety is key. We've seen in the past teams have allowed him to drop deeper, but they've just pressed him, and they've not allowed him any time on the ball. So they've set themselves up for that and really sort of nipped his wings, really, in that sense. So I think he will drop deep, but I don't want to see it constantly. I do want to see him getting up in those areas. I want him to make your back line think a little bit.
Cool. I'll start with Carl, Ollie, then I'll go Luke. Obviously, regarding the Arsenal lineup, do you think it will be similar, or the same against Leeds, Carl, or do you think there might be a surprise inclusion?
If you mean by surprise, then someone comes in that shouldn't deserve to start, i.e. like Lacazette, then yeah, that would be a surprise. But as far as I'm concerned, I think the lineup will stay the same. Obviously, I spoke earlier about Ben White could be fit and could be playing tonight, although personally, if he's only just come back, he may be a little rusty. This is why I would say we put Holding in instead of Ben White for that particular reason. And also as well, in the game against Leeds as well, we played Tomiyasu at left back and put Cedric at right back, and that seemed to shore up the defense very well. It's not a knock on Nuno Tavares at all, but Nuno Tavares is very good going forward, but defensively he's about as useful as mud guards on a tortoise. So this is why I would put Tomiyasu at left back. But as far as the midfield,
can I just stop you there? I know you're going to go in the if we do play Cedric right back, would you not worry him against Son? Just briefly. I don't rate Cedric. I think he might get turfed.
That depends. That really depends, because because it's a lose-lose situation here. You put Tomiyasu at left back and you put Cedric at right back, and Cedric could be caught vulnerable, or you go with Tomiyasu in his preferred position and Tavares at left back. All Tottenham got to do is just switch Kudelevsky and Son over, and then you got the same problem. So it's a double-edged sword, frankly, in that terms of context.
And basically, we're missing Tierney. Basically, that's all it is. We're missing Tierney because we have
Tierney is the cornerstone of that defense, and he's also a leader when he's not got the captain's armband on him.
And for me, he is the next captain. I'd give him the captaincy over Odegaard personally.
Yeah, I would as well. Who wants a Scottish captain in your lineup? No one takes any shit off here otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let you carry on. You were going in midfield. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Sorry, midfield. I know you talked about, you say El Nenny's not been that good enough. You need to realise something. When we had these injuries, and obviously Lacazette's form has been absolutely woeful it's been Nketiah, Rob Holding, and Mohamed El-Neni that's actually came in and actually done a job. They've done really, really well, and I can't knock El-Neni for it. It seems like he is become a different player all of a sudden. I know it's only in a short space of time, so it's only a very small sample size.
He's done this
But
before, though.
Sorry,
He's had these little runs before, and then he goes shit again.
Not in these sorts of circumstances. I just don't think the problem is when he was with Granit Xhaka was always a hothead. He was always sort of like temperamental, and you didn't know whether he was coming or going. I think since Xhaka has now been alongside Thomas Partey, it's actually calmed him down a little. It's made him think more on the ball. And I think El-Neni now likes that. If you're comfortable in those situations, and both of you will work for that. So this is why I say El-Neni has actually been performing really well, but it is a tougher team. I mean, he played against Chelsea, and he caused the midfield all kinds of problems.
Yeah,
so
he played really well there.
So yeah, if I was go with a front three, I see Odegaard playing number 10, Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, and Eddie Nketiah up top. Eddie, I know it looks like he probably will be going in the summer, which is a shame because whoever is going to get him, they're going to get a hell of a striker. But he's been on form, and the more he does this, the more Lacazette is just going to stick to the bench until he gets sold in the summer, or leaves in the summer rather.
Luke, I'll go to you next. No surprises for Tottenham. Same lineup against Liverpool, if possible.
That's what I would expect. Yeah, I wouldn't expect any changes. I mean, our starting lineup is pretty predictable because we just don't have the depth. We don't have the depth. We don't have the quality of player to really come in. Obviously, we saw a change up with Lucas Moura before, but he didn't produce. But it did light a fire for Kulusevski. I can't see any kind of risk like that being taken today. I would expect the same front line. I've not heard of any other injuries other than the ones that exist already. So, yeah, same predictable lineup, but hopefully some unpredictable tactics.
And Ollie, regarding Arsenal's lineup, do you see any changes, or would you expect the same team that played against?
Shall I just make it simple, telling you my lineup? Is that okay?
Yeah, go on, mate. Far away.
All right. So Ramsdale on goal, obviously. I've seen this stupid app that says that we'll play a 3-4-2-1, but I think we'll play a normal formation. But anyway, centre backs, I think Gabriel and White, and then hopefully Tomiyasu starts right back. I play Tavares left back. I don't really care. He's better than Xhaka and Cedric or anyone who plays left back. Then CDMs, I'll go with Mohamed El-Neni and Xhaka. Don't see anything wrong with them. I think, yeah, they're good. And then Odegaard, number 10, captain as well. And then I think it'll possibly be Martinelli and Saka on Nketiah up front. I don't know whether Nketiah will play left or whatever. Maybe Saka will play on the left, but that's my lineup, I think. And not any changes from the last game, I don't think. But I think we'll play a strong lineup.
Before I get to key battles, I want to get on the subject, obviously, and I will ask you all the same questions, including you, Luke. I know you're a Tottenham fan, but I'm sure you have an opinion on this. A lot of up in air about Arsenal offering Arteta a contract, but for me,
yeah, he's already signed the contract.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, signed the contract. What's your opinion on that? I'll start with you, Ollie. Arteta, are you happy that he signed a new deal?
Yeah, I am, because it's just going to prove people wrong. They've been doubting him for a while, and I think if we get top 4, then it'll bring more confidence in what people think about Arteta. Because I think it's good. I think that I can't see us end with any other manager, and yeah, that's it. I think he needs to prove himself wrong, because in the past people have, Arteta out, and I'm Arteta in personally. I was excited the day he signed. So if we don't get top 4, then obviously I'll be Arteta out. But at the moment, I see a positive in him, and I don't know. I can't see us having any other manager really, and it's good that he signed the contract, I think.
I'll go with you quickly, Luke, before I go to Carl, because I know he's intrigued to answer this. I know, again, outside looking in, Do you think that was a strange move to give him a contract before the season ends, or do you think he deserves it?
I think when you look at the way that the Arsenal board has handled things in recent seasons, there's been a lack of stability with things, and I think what they're trying to establish is that stability that was obviously had under Wenger. So I think they're trying to almost give assurances to the staff and the players that, look, we have faith in our manager, and you'll be rewarded. You'll be rewarded for sort of improving, really. I think when you look at the start of the season and where you were to where you are now, he has done a very good job. You having a better tail end of the season, which arguably you want more so than a better start to the season. If you hadn't have had such a poor start to the season, top four would be sewn up for you. So yeah, I just think it's a case of just offering that stability and believing in the project. And I think I'm still surprised that they did offer the contract this early, but I think it was inevitable that they were going to offer him a contract.
It sort of tells me he was getting it regardless where we finished.
Yeah, I mean, but if you were offered fifth place come the start of the season, you would have.
I would have took it. Yeah, I would have took it every day of the week.
So there's two sides to that coin as well. So I do understand what you're saying. You're almost rewarding him without getting to the finish line. But yeah, I just think that they're just trying to find that stability again. They've been, you've been too turbulent the last couple of years. It's been very unpredictable, and they want to shore things up, even if he's not the person to lead success for you long term.
Yeah,
it's getting that stable base, building on that, and then maybe finding a stronger, more world-class manager that can add that quality and the different tactics and everything else to then push you on.
It gets a lot of stick, I'd say, but he's still learning. He's been given a lot of faith. So again, I've always said I'm not in, I'm not out. I just support the manager. If he goes, he goes. He stays, he stays. I'm more about the club. There's nothing he's done for me that makes me want to hate him. Carl, what's your opinion on this?
You look at the start of the season, where did you think we was going to end up? For me personally, I think it's baby steps. Get back into European football and see where we go from there. When I mean European football, I mean get back into Europa League, and then we start the next stage of this rebuild. But yes, we've been inconsistent, but we've won more games than what we definitely won last season. We've performed much more better, and Arteta's his manager skills have got better and better. I think the turning point for all of us, was he ended up clamping down on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I think that was the turning point there, where also I thought, oh, okay, this manager is taking charge here. We haven't had this since Wenger.
And they got the faith as well.
He is now the machine. He's now the engine. He's now the machine in that dressing room. And I think he does deserve the contract. Will it be a downfall if we don't make Champions League football? In the context of where we are right now, yes, it would be. It really, really would be. But to get back to European football, I think he has done that. He's met his expectations. That's why he's been given that's why he's been given the extension. Gets Champions League football, we have overachieved. For someone of us that we haven't been in the Champions League for about 6 years now?
6 years.
About 6 years. I think is absolutely huge for Arteta.
No, I thought it's 5 years, isn't it?
No, 2016.
2016.
I thought it was 2017.
I'm sure it's 16. Don't worry, we'll carry on, Carl.
Anyhow, we had just been out for a long time. So to get back now will just be instrumental. But that'll be the point then where the board can't just sit on their laurels, just think, right, everything's good now. We're all good to go. Arteta is going to want this player, this player, this player. We want to get the next stage of the rebuild going, and I think Arteta is the man for the job, and I think the players trust him as well. If the players trust the manager, then they know then they are heading in the right direction, which we've been drifting.
Just to add another point as well. I mean, if I were an Arsenal fan, I would want him to get another contract. I would want his contract renewed. I think obviously there are the Arsenal fans that are Arteta out. I think that they need to be careful what they wish for. In the devil and all that, but also the fact that, say, you don't want to fall into the same trap that United has found themselves in, where you believe that you are the power that you once were.
Yeah, agreed.
You're a completely different team. You can't live off the back of the Invincibles forever. You have to. You just have to, assess where you are now, and build on that. This is the thing with some very delusional football fans, is they believe that they will always be as good as they once were,
which is not.
And we've seen those falls from grace. We've seen what's happened with Leeds. Obviously, they had a bit of a resurgence. There was other things with management at the club, but it's easy. Look at Forest.
Look at Liverpool. Liverpool. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't rest on your laurels like that, and you have to live in the present. You cannot live in the past when it comes to football. And as we all know, it's a constantly moving sport. There's constantly things moving. You're moving players in, you're moving players out. We saw what happened with Tottenham. We saw what happened when Pochettino had a window with no signings. We stagnated. You have to, no matter how good you are, we see it with City, no matter how good Man City are, they're constantly adding talent. They're constantly looking to improve. And that's what gets you to the next level, and that's what makes you a better team.
Yeah, it's stability. Man United have got Ten Hag. He's not going to turn that around in 3-4 years. If they've signed him, they've got to understand he's got to be given time.
And that's going to be the expectation.
Exactly. But with Arteta, again, I think he's done a decent job. He's been given 150 million. He did do good in the summer. But fans have this idea he's not this big name, he's not good enough. And I think that's just delusional. You've got to just go with what you've got. People keep saying to me, Graham Potter's better than Arteta. And I'm like, really? They're the same. Arteta's better than Graham Potter.
The difference is, though,
Graham Potter.
Here's the thing that what Arsenal have done differently to what, say Man United, for example, because Man United, all they'd go for is go for big money names and big money signings and thinking everything's going to be right as rosy. When Arsenal doing this rebuild, they didn't want players of need. They want people that are going to come in that can actually fit into the role that they're positioned in. Can they play in that position? Are they the right people? Are they the right culture for the team? The likes of Ben White coming in, everyone was scratching their head. We pay 50 million for Ben White. Is like, what the hell's going on? And he's played up to it. The same with Aaron Ramsdale. I was the first one on Twitter saying, why the fucking hell we took Aaron Ramsdale? And he started off sluggish, but he's justified it. And same with Martin Odegaard. We paid 25 million for, and he's been instrumental for
30 million
in pulling the chains. So, it's getting the players that's actually going to fit your club and fit its culture. And Arsenal doing it the right way with the players that we signed throughout the summer. Okay, we did nothing in January. That may be, the only sort of black mark on the season when it comes to transfer business. But we've brought players in that we know are going to fit. And we brought in the youth setup. Arsenal got one of the best youth development, under 23 development setups anywhere in the country,
in the world,
and I'll go in Europe, because obviously we look at the Europe as thing, okay? But we've got these young kids coming in, and sometimes if you haven't got the money, you have to bring the youth in, and it's either you chuck them to the wall, sink or swim. and the likes of Saka and Smith Rowe, they've raised up to the competition that they're going up against.
I've just changed gears again. I'll go to you now, Luke. Very simple question: will Conte be there next year, or do you think he might go? Because I think he might go.
No, I think he will be there next season. I think when you sign someone like Conte, you know what's expected. You know that he's going to demand a certain amount of money. You know that if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to walk. And I think he has been given those assurances. I think he is going to have money to spend, and I think he can see a project at Tottenham that he can work with. He's already talked about how we need to improve our quality. He's spoken of that. So he's also pressing the issue. This is the thing with Conte that's very different, and was surprising with Mourinho that he wasn't as pressing on the matter of signings, that he had this great squad and the players are fantastic and this, that, the other. And that's where Conte is so singularly focused and strong-minded and strong-willed in what he wants and what he believes, that he won't defer from it. He'll stay on what he wants, and that's where Levy's managed to sort of brainwash other managers in the past, I think, with Pochettino and with Mourinho, convincing them that the players were good enough and that no, we don't need to spend this money. And but as a result, it's left us in a place where we have the opportunity to spend a bit more money, at least via the financial fair play. Whether he wants to reach into his pockets is another matter, but I believe he will, and I believe he will stay. But should he leave, then that puts the impetus on Kane to then leave. Without Conte staying, I don't think Kane stays.
Agreed. Just that comment there by Horus Talks. Big up Horus Talks Football. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Yeah, Saka and Ben White in the travelling squad. So, let's see.
I knew Ben White was a pikey.
We'll switch back to the game. Ollie, what's the key battle in tonight's game?
There's a few, obviously, goalkeeper-wise, the Reece and Ramsdale. Defender-wise, probably, don't know.
What game, what battle, what two players from either side that host the key? Where's the key battle?
Probably the strikers, maybe Kane and Nketiah, because they want to get goals. Maybe Odegaard and Son, that would be quite an interesting one.
Cool. I'll go to you again, Luke. Obviously, regarding Tottenham, we said already about their style, but what did Tottenham need to do to get the early goal? How do they need to approach it?
Like I say, I think it's
the target. Where's the point?
Well, I mean, I think it's the the Conte ball. It's that link between the midfield, the wing backs, and the front three. It's getting that ball moving fast. This is something where in the past, where teams have sort of parked the bus a little bit against us. It's been frustrating to watch because it's slowly moving the ball around the midfield, looking for a gap, not creating those. If a team is well organised, you have to create those gaps. Those gaps aren't just going to appear. If a team is disciplined and well drilled, that's just what they're going to do. They're going to stay in their position unless you force them out. And quick moving ball. And this is where Højbjerg and Bentancur's key. Bentancur had a poor game the other day. I thought he did okay, but I thought he struggled a bit. Looked a little bit. He was slacking a little bit on the ball. He wasn't moving it quick enough. I thought Højbjerg had a good game. But yeah, I think that's a massive key. And also on the press, because if Arsenal are trying to move the ball around a bit, and we can cut those lines and intercept, because we've seen that a few times this season, those interceptions to really then create a counter from nothing really, is another key. So whether it's the pressing, or whether it's just the quick, concise passes, I think it's the midfield, and then obviously the attackers to do their job.
Cole, what do Arsenal have to do to come away from this game securing Champions League?
Play very tight defense. Don't make silly mistakes. When you get an opportunity to break, you break in numbers. If you try and slow the game down, that'll give Tottenham time to get back into their formation. And you know what we're like? Well, we're trying to pass the ball with 10 men behind the ball. It's virtually impossible for us. So I think this is going to be a case of Arsenal just need to pick their moments and when they get the chance to. As I said earlier, the first goal scored will set the tone for the game. So if Arsenal get a goal within the first 10, 15 minutes, Tottenham then have got to change their game plan completely, because they now have to say, shit, we now need to score twice in order for us to stay in the Champions League hunt.
Just a quick question. Oh, sorry, go on. Carry on.
So, but with Tottenham, if they score, they can still sit back and be a little bit more relaxed on the ball. But they will probably still want to get a second just to have that cushion in front.
It's not going to be an open game, is it?
It's going to be cagey. It's going to be cagey. It's going to be very tight. If it ends up becoming a basketball game, then I'm just going to get PTSD. It's going to be one of those. It'll be one of those games, and I think Luke will agree as well.
Yeah. Just a quick question, Cole. Who would you look to target in the Spurs team? Whether that be defensively, or going forward, who would you look to? Where would you say that either the weakness or that dictates the pace a little bit more? Who would you look?
If it was me, if I was manager, Martinelli and Saka will be targeting your fullbacks or your wing backs in Emerson Royal and Ryan Sessegnon. I think if they can get past the fullbacks, that's going to leave the back. I don't know if Spurs will play a back three or they'll go to a back four. And from what I've got of a possible lineup here, they'll go to a back three with Romero, Dyer, and Davis.
So that's a sure thing, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably say Saka and Martinelli need to target the fullbacks in this game in order to help.
I'll target Ben Davis.
That's who I would say. Yeah, that's who I would say.
Ben Davis is not good enough to play in that Spurs team, especially not in a back three when he's a left back. So I think, I do agree with Cole. I do think Royale and Sessegnon, they're very similar to Tavares. They're not, well, obviously we know Sessegnon's he'll prefer to be a winger, but they're not great defensively. So
he did have a good performance against Salah.
Yeah. He did, of course he did, but Salah's off form. I'm not taking anything away from Sessegnon's performance, but I do think them three players. But then, we switch the sides to Arsenal if Tavares or Frederick starts, and that's where Tottenham will look to target. Ollie, you're looking quiet there in the corner, mate. Yeah. So who do Arsenal have to target? What player do you reckon we can get at?
It's a tough question. I don't know. Maybe Harry Kane.
Why target him? What, get him sent off?
Yeah, because he's going to be their goal threat. He's their striker.
Do you mean in terms of disruption on the ball?
Yeah, that's what he means.
Yeah. Time, just marking him tight, or
don't know, maybe Son as well.
Quite a lot of times we've seen Harry Kane drop deep and to receive the ball so he could feed through the channels of Kulusevski and Son as well. The reason being why Son has been banging in goals for fun this season is because Harry Kane has all of a sudden become Mr. Assist all of a sudden. And every pass that Kane puts in, it's pretty much on point. So if you stop the feed of Harry Kane, Son is probably going to have to do the work on his own. And that is probably what will help Cedric and Holding try and lock him down a little bit better.
Which is why I want to see a variation. I want to see variety from him in terms of dropping deep and making those runs in. Just to, you can't become too predictable with that, because I've seen that too many times with him before, where teams set up for that and don't give him the space and leave a little bit in on him, and they frustrate him, and they just get a gauge of what the ref is gonna blow for and what they're not.
This is going to be the biggest game of chess the Premier League's seen in quite some time. It's a case of who are we going to figure out? There's so many battles in this, and it can and the coin could flip either way in this.
Yeah, I think Tottenham will target Xhaka to disrupt him, because if he loses his head, we've seen before, it could cost us. I really think both teams, especially Arsenal, obviously on our end, obviously as being an Arsenal fan, we need to make sure that we don't lose our heads and we stay tidy. We don't get involved in any handbags, as I do think Tottenham will try and disrupt us. They're at home, we have the home crowd. So we just need to play football tight, don't open it up, play the counter, play sensible football. Don't make any mistakes, don't do anything you don't need to do. Tottenham are the ones that need to go for the win. Luke will tell you that. They're the ones who need to make the gamble, they're the ones that need to make the pressure. Arsenal, the longer the game goes at 0-0, well, the longer the game goes at drawing, then Arsenal's got more of a chance to get a goal. Tottenham are going to have to go for it. We can keep them at bay. You know, if Brighton can keep them at bay for the whole game, so can we. Of course we can. You've got to have confidence. You know, I'm confident we can get a point from this. I don't go into this game thinking that we're underdogs. I think obviously a lot of people will side to Tottenham, because Tottenham are probably playing a bit better in the last couple of games. They had a great performance against Liverpool. But Arsenal, 4 unbeaten, 4 in a row wins. We know what we can do. It's one of those games. It's the biggest North London derby in a very, very long time. Anything can happen. A few predictions, Laura, 2-1 Arsenal, of course. Thank you very much. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's spam. Hello, Brazil, good vibes. Hello, if you're not spam. But yeah, it's going to be a great game. It's something I'm looking forward to. I'll switch gears now, guys. Just before we go on then, I know it's another Arsenal question. Is it the right thing to offer? And again, very briefly in all of you, I'll go to you, Cole. Is it the right thing to offer Elneny a new contract?
It's been 4 games, but the 4 games he's played in have actually been very instrumental to how we've managed to win those games. Elneny has said in a press conference that originally Arteta said that Elneny was not in any of Arteta's plans. And since he's come on and actually performed really well, now Arteta's changing his tune by saying, now he is in my plans. So...
Well, when's he going to be back on the bench?
As a squad player, listen, as a squad player, I would probably keep hold of Elneny as a squad player.
What about you, Ollie? Would you offer him a new contract?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
And then Luke, would you?
Yeah, I think he's a very frustrating player for me.
Sorry, line up. Go on, snap.
Ramsdale told me as to holding Gabriel.
All right, hang on. Carl, you do the lineups. Go on.
What do you want me to do? Tottenham's or Arsenal's, or both of them?
You do both. Go on.
Okay. So Tottenham's lineup is as follows: Lloris in goal. Looks like a back 4: Royal, Sanchez, Dyer, and Davis. The midfield 3 of Højbjerg, Bentancur, and Sessegnon.
Sessegnon will be wing back.
This looks like it will be wing backs then. And then a front 3 of Kulusevski, Son, and Kane.
Predictable.
Arsenal, that's predictable. And Arsenal's lineup is Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu at right back, Holding, Gabriel, Cedric. Sorry, it'll be Tomiyasu left back, Cedric right back, beg your pardon. Xhaka, Elneny, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Eddie, and Nketiah.
Yeah,
so
no surprise.
Pretty much
unchanged.
Both unchanged sides. They're both on form. The question I want to ask Graham, if that's possible.
Go on.
Tottenham, both Arsenal and Tottenham's bench, there is barely any depth. So who could they bring on that could... So, Luke, a question to you. Who could come on that could be a game changer for Tottenham to come off the bench?
Well, Moura's unpredictable. He can be a game changer. Obviously, we've seen that in the past. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. He can be a game changer, but he can also be absolute dog shit. But Conte seems to favour him. So I don't know. He that would probably be the first sub to try and change things. I like to see more of Bergwijn, to be honest. I don't think he's been getting enough minutes. I think he's.
Sorry to butt in. I have to go now. So
all right, Ollie, shout your channel out, mate.
yeah, so on YouTube, subscribe to Deeds and Care. I'm actually doing a watch along in a bit. Subscribe. I'm on the road to 1K, and follow my new Instagram, Ollie.Sinclair556.
And what's your score prediction, mate?
Oh yeah, my score prediction. I said in the chat 2-1. I'll go with that. Maybe a 1-1 and maybe a cheeky 1-0 Spurs. I don't know, but I'm going with 2-1 Arsenal. I'm confident today. Hopefully, we can get the 3 points.
All right, Ollie. Thanks very much, mate.
All right, see ya.
Go on, Luke, mate. Carry on.
Confident and yet had 3 predictions that all contradicted each other. It sounds like sitting on the fence to me.
Yeah.
Bergwijn for me. I wanted to see more of him. I think when players are tired, and he's got that pace. He's got that acceleration to really break through, and he does make some very good runs. He does open teams up. His finishing's left a lot to be desired in the past. Obviously, we've seen what he's done against Leicester, which was massive, and I thought that would have more of an effect. I thought maybe he might get some more minutes as a result of that. But to be honest, other than those two, I can't really say anything. Yeah, I mean, maybe if Sessegnon's having a bad game, you would bring Davinson Sanchez on. So that's maybe a threat from a corner. But in terms of changing the game, it's Moura or Bergwijn. And then I don't really know who's turning up.
Carl, same question for you for Arsenal. I haven't seen the lineup. Is Smith Rowe and Pepe on there? If they are they the 2 first subs?
The bench we've got is Leno, Ben White, Alexander Lacazette, Emil Smith Rowe, Nicolas Pepe, Nuno Tavares, Samuel Lukonga, Swanson, and our under-21 kid has been playing really well for the under-21s. Charlie Patino is in there as well. Not a bad bench. I think you'll probably see the likes of Smith Rowe come on, and I mean, maybe Lacazette at the end, maybe just to, I don't know, hold the fort, maybe. But as I said, our bench is we have barely any depth.
Yep, that's been our problem.
It's like a bathtub that's not big enough to drown a mouse. That's our depth on bench. So I don't know where you could go to the bench for help. I mean, yeah, I honestly don't know where you go to the bench for help. Apart from Smith Rowe and Lacazette, White maybe if someone gets injured, knock on wood. But yeah, Pepe's been disappointing. Is an understatement for Pepe.
I think he might go in the summer.
He will.
Yeah. We'll wrap this up soon, guys, because I know the games are not on. It'll be on soon. I'll start with you, Luke. Go on. You see the captain. You know the rules.
All right, say again. I'll guarantee it. Well, I mean, you ain't spelled it right, but we won't go there.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I just realised. Fucking Ollie did it. And sent it. Go on, mate. What do you reckon?
Romero to be unleashed.
He's
injured.
I think
he's going to leave a bit in. I think he's going to get under the skin of some Arsenal players.
Did you just say Romero?
Romero, yeah.
He's injured. He's not playing.
Centre back.
He's not playing.
Who's the centre backs?
You said he was. You put him in the lineup.
The lineup was for the defense: Royal, Sanchez, Dyer.
Oh, Sanchez.
David.
Sanchez.
Yeah,
ignore that then. Guarantee is Romero doesn't isn't starting. Right, guarantee the game. Davey's making a mistake that may or may not lead to a goal.
You love Ben Davies, don't you, Luke?
No, to be fair, I think he's a very, very good squad player. I think he can do a role, and he does put himself out. But he's just not got the quality that's needed.
Row. Is it a front row or back row?
What's that?
You think he can do a roll? What sort of roll is it? Carl, what's your guarantee of the game?
Oh, this is an absolute guarantee. Granit Xhaka to get carded.
I think you two are both
later than he should.
Later than he should, yeah.
Yeah, you're both gone safe there.
I could have easily gone with someone's getting sent off. Because
I was thinking of the same, but I hope that's not the case.
No, I would say like a nice clean game, but it's the North London derby. This ain't going to be a nice clean game. The referee better get a stranglehold of this game very, very quickly before it gets out of hand. So,
before we go score predictions, guys, big up to everyone watching. If you're not already subscribed, or give us a subscribe now, please. That'd be great. Comment, give us a like. All the support is much appreciated. Big up to people who's commenting today. Appreciate it. My guarantee, both teams to score. And yeah, that will lean to my prediction. I'll go score predictions. I'll start with you, Carl. What do you reckon the score's going to be? And don't do an Ollie, say 3.
You want my head prediction or you want my heart prediction?
Whatever you think's going to happen. Not what you want, what you think.
Score draw.
Both of you want.
Score draw.
1-1, 2-2, 6-6, 5-5.
All of the above.
1-1.
1-1. Luke, what about you,
draw.
Mate?
If I'm honest, I can see a score draw as well. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I do think you'll score. I think we'll nab a goal, whether we can nab another one or not. I'm gonna go for a 3-1, but I can completely see it being a score draw.
Jeez.
Oh, Tottenham fan, you wanker.
Ollie's gone. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, I should draw 3-1.
I'm going to start interrupting everyone in a minute.
He did that a few times. Bless him. He's only 18. Yeah, I'm gonna actually stick with Carl and say 1-1. Of course, there's every opportunity for us to get a win here. It's gonna be a game to watch. I've got to go dart, so hopefully it's on in the club to watch it. But if it's 2-0 after 20 minutes, then I won't be that bothered. But I think we can get a draw here. I think 1-1. I think Arsenal we can't sit back early. Obviously, first 10-15 minutes, I get it, but we need to grow into the game. If we get a goal, we need to just play normal football. Don't invite the pressure. Yes, I know Tottenham prefer it on the counter, but they've still got that quality. They've still got the quality to break anyone down. It's just about how they can do it.
Again, I just think it's a case of staying organised, staying disciplined.
But yeah, exactly. We've got to stay disciplined, not get involved in anything.
Just try and. I think the key is try and slow us down.
Yeah,
stop any momentum building.
And injure Son. I can kick his legs. Before we go, I'll just go to Luke. I know where you can be found, but you can tell me again.
Here.
Thank you.
I'm not even here because I ain't got the camera on.
Yeah, I know. We can't see you today. Are you with your boyfriend?
You what?
Are you with your boyfriend? Is that why you're not showing us?
Yeah, he's me chair.
Carl, where can we find you? Tell the viewers, mate.
You can find me on Twitter at KBSports31. I'm also co-host for the Shank Club NFL, which is an NFL channel, and I also help on Munsey Talks, talking football, NFL, and my first gig for the NBA yesterday, which was actually really, really good fun as well. So hit me up on Twitter, and let's get this. Let's do this. Let's get this win.
Fuck the fucking scum up. I don't know how many F's I said there, but it was quite a record. All right, lads, that's it for it. Let's all enjoy the game. I appreciate you both coming on. Thank you, Luke, and thank
Thank you
you,
very
Carl.
much.
Thank you, Ollie.
Thank you very much.
Wherever you are, probably still interrupting us. And have a good night and enjoy the game. See you later, guys. Till next time. Thank you.
Cheers.